In the quiet suburb of Willow Creek, Adrian, a man who had been blind for years, underwent a revolutionary surgery that restored his sight, a secret he kept from his wife, Clara. Reveling in the world anew, he observed his life with fresh eyes, only to uncover a startling truth about the woman he thought he knew. What he saw compelled him to file for divorce, leaving everyone around him stunned. Adrian couldn't believe his eyes. His wife had been lying to him for years. "Hello, Mr. Hawthorne? Are you still there?" Someone on the other end of the line asked, but Adrian didn't hear it. All the sounds around him muffled, and it felt like the world stopped turning. How could he ever begin to trust his wife again after this? Needless to say, Adrian was literally blindsided. He had thought that fixing his eyesight would be the beginning of a new life, but he never thought it would be a life without Clara. He wanted nothing more than to forgive her and move on, but he just simply couldn't. If she had cheated on him, sure, he could have forgiven her, but this went way too far. Fueled by anger and betrayal, Adrian confronted his wife. She tried to turn the tables on him at first, but soon realized there was no way around it. She had screwed up, and now Adrian wanted a divorce. Clara was not the woman Adrian thought she was. It was a heartbreaking discovery of betrayal, and he couldn't imagine how he could ever move past this. But why didn't Adrian tell his wife about his surgery? And what did he see that made him file for divorce? It was supposed to be a surprise for his wife. Adrian wanted to throw a beautiful second wedding for them to renew their vows, one he would be able to enjoy to the fullest. You see, he was already blind when the two of them met, so he had never seen his wife, Clara, in her wedding dress. It was something she had always wished he could have witnessed. It was a difficult secret to keep, as the recovery from his surgery could take up to a month, and his vision wouldn't be clear right in the beginning. But somehow, Adrian made it work. While he was blind, he always wore sunglasses, so he just proceeded to do that so his wife wouldn't see his swollen or red eyes. Every time he had to use his eye drops, he would make sure she wasn't in the room. As the weeks progressed, Adrian began to see more and more of the world he had never seen before. He felt torn about not telling his wife, as he would have loved to share some of the moments with her, like seeing her clearly for the first time. He remembered getting teary-eyed as Clara was even more beautiful than he had imagined she would be. Now that his vision was normal, he could finally begin to plan the secret second wedding. It was strange to suddenly use things he had never been able to use before, or used in a whole different way, and doing it in secret brought a lot more difficulties. That was why Adrian decided he had to leave his house for a while. Regaining his vision definitely felt like a brand new adventure, and he couldn't wait to share and explore this new world with his beloved wife. He took a week off from work and told his wife he would be gone on a business trip. Clara was a little suspicious, as Adrian had never been on a business trip before, but she also found it a perfect opportunity for him. It didn't feel great to lie to his wife, but Adrian knew it was the best thing to do to plan his surprise perfectly. He checked himself into a hotel just out of town and started by learning how to use his computer again. There was Braille on his keyboard, which helped a lot as he didn't know the real alphabet yet. He was in awe of the world around him, seeing everything for the first time. Little did he know, he would soon wish he had never done the surgery at all. While he was planning every in detail, he suddenly stumbled upon a strange problem. After choosing a catering company that would make sure everyone would get the most delicious food, he got an email that his credit card was declined. Adrian was certain that couldn't be possible, as he worked 32 hours a week and even got compensation from the state. Adrian immediately contacted the catering service, his fingers trembling slightly as he typed out an email. He insisted there must have been some mistake with his credit card. The thought of anything jeopardizing his surprise wedding plan made his stomach churn. Yet he forced a smile, trying to stay buoyant amidst the uncertainty. This wedding was more than an event. It was a symbol of his newfound life and love for Clara. Despite the setback with the credit card, Adrian didn't let despair cloud his vision. He closed his laptop with a gentle click, a determined glint in his eyes. Heading into town for his appointment at the flower shop, he clung to the hope that this minor hiccup wouldn't derail his plans. The surprise for Clara meant everything to him, and he wouldn't let anything stand in its way. The day took a brighter turn when Adrian's credit card transaction went through seamlessly at a coffee shop. A wave of relief washed over him, and he couldn't help but smile. Perhaps the issue with the caterer was just a fluke, a temporary glitch in the system. This small victory injected a fresh dose of optimism into his plans, and he stepped out into the sunlight, reinvigorated. Inside the flower shop, Adrian was surrounded by an explosion of colors and scents. He meticulously selected each bloom for the vow renewal ceremony, envisioning how each one would contribute to the beauty of the day. The florist's expertise guided him, but his heart made the final choices. Each flower was a symbol, a promise of renewal, and a testament to the love he and Clara shared. With the floral arrangements finalized, Adrian felt a surge of hope and excitement. He could almost see the ceremony unfolding, Clara walking towards him, surrounded by beauty and love. This wasn't just about correcting a vision impaired by blindness. It was about celebrating their journey together. As he left the flower shop, his steps were light, buoyed by the vision of a renewed beginning with Clara. With his mind racing, Adrian concocted a story about an urgent, last-minute business meeting that required his overnight stay. "The company will reimburse everything," he assured Clara, hoping to quell her suspicions. His voice was calm, but inside, he felt a twinge of guilt for the lie. Yet he believed it was necessary, a small deception to protect a much larger surprise. After the call, Adrian's steps felt heavier as he returned to the hotel. Clara's probing questions echoed in his mind, stirring a cocktail of unease and doubt. Had his lie been convincing enough? The excitement of planning had been overshadowed by a gnawing worry. He knew the foundation of their relationship was trust, and each lie felt like a crack in that foundation. At the hotel, the receptionist's words sent a chill down Adrian's spine. "Your wife called, asking several questions about your stay," she mentioned casually. Adrian forced a smile, but his heart raced. Clara's suspicion was more serious than he'd thought. This unexpected scrutiny threatened the veil of secrecy he'd so carefully maintained. In his room, Adrian reflected on the situation. He reassured himself that Clara's detective work was just her being cautious, a natural reaction to an unusual scenario. Yet, the seed of discomfort had been planted. With every lie he told to protect his surprise, he felt more entangled in a web of deceit. The complexity of his plan was growing, and with it, the fear of its unraveling. Alone in his room, Adrian mulled over Clara's pointed questions and the receptionist's unsettling news. The weight of his ongoing deception pressed heavily on him. Despite the noble intent behind his secrecy, he couldn't help but feel a twinge of guilt. It was a delicate dance between truth and illusion, one he had to master for the sake of his grand plan. Determined to dispel Clara's doubts, Adrian composed detailed messages about his fabricated business trip. He included mundane details, hoping to paint a believable picture of his days. Each text was sent with a heavy heart, as he balanced on the thin line between keeping his secret and nurturing the trust that was the bedrock of their relationship. Despite the gnawing worries, Adrian pressed on with his secret wedding preparations. He juggled phone calls, emails, and bookings, all while maintaining a steady stream of messages to Clara. His resolve to keep the surprise intact was unwavering, fueled by visions of her joy and surprise. The dream of their perfect day together kept him going, even as doubts lingered. With each passing day, Adrian felt the strain of his dual life. Clara's responses, once warm, seemed to cool, her words tinged with hidden suspicion. Adrian's heart sank with each conversation, fearing his attempts at reassurance might be falling short. The fabric of his deception felt increasingly fragile, threatening to unravel at the slightest pull. The secrecy surrounding his grand gesture had created an unexpected chasm between them. Adrian realized the paradox of his situation. In his effort to bring them closer, he had inadvertently woven a tapestry of lies that now distanced them. The trust they had built, once strong and unwavering, now seemed as delicate as the petals of the flowers he had chosen for their vow renewal. The morning's calm was shattered by a call from the hotel receptionist, informing Adrian of Clara's persistent inquiries. Her relentless questions had breached the hotel's confidentiality, a clear sign that his fabrications might be unraveling. This unexpected interruption to his day underscored a troubling reality. His efforts to reassure Clara might be crumbling under the weight of his secret plans. Adrian's heart sank as he processed the receptionist's words. It was a stark confirmation of his growing fears. Clara's trust, once as steadfast as the dawn, seemed to be fading with each passing day. The foundation of their relationship, built on mutual respect and honesty, appeared to be weakening. This realization cast a long shadow over Adrian's intentions, tinging his once exciting plans with a hue of regret. Despite the gnawing guilt and escalating stress, Adrian clung to his resolve. The vision of Clara's elated surprise bolstered his determination to press on with the wedding plans. Yet the burden of his secret became a constant companion, a reminder of the intricate web of lies he had spun. The emotional toll was palpable, casting a pall over the joy he had anticipated. As the days wore on, the strain between Adrian and Clara grew, turning his once hopeful endeavor into a source of doubt. He began to question the wisdom of his surprise, pondering if the joy of revealing his restored sight and their renewed vows was worth the complexity and deception it entailed. This internal conflict left Adrian wrestling with the possibility that his grand gesture might have been a grave miscalculation. The weight of his ongoing deceit loomed large over Adrian, casting a long shadow across his heart. He found himself at a crossroads, contemplating the true cost of his actions. The excitement of planning had been tainted by the realization that his surprise, intended as a testament to their love, might ultimately jeopardize the very essence of their relationship. It was a burden heavy with consequence, forcing Adrian to reconsider the path he had chosen. The tranquility of the morning was shattered by a stern call from the receptionist, informing Adrian that his credit card had been declined once more. This news was a jarring reminder of the financial tightrope he was walking in pursuit of the perfect surprise. The risk of his grand gesture backfiring became starkly apparent, forcing him to face the precariousness of his situation head-on. In a flurry of urgency, Adrian reached out to his bank, his heart racing with the threat of eviction hanging over him. The phone call felt like a lifeline, his last hope to salvage his plans and maintain his cover. Each ring echoed the urgency of his predicament, a stark reminder of the fragile balance between his dream and the reality he was navigating. Held captive by the bank's hold music, Adrian's mind raced with worst-case scenarios. The potential fallout from his financial dilemma threatened not just the wedding plans, but the very fabric of his relationship with Clara. The wait was torturous, a test of patience that left him grappling with the ramifications of his well-intentioned but increasingly complicated scheme. As he waited, Adrian felt the full weight of his secret life pressing down on him. The joy of planning his surprise wedding was overshadowed by financial strain and the hidden truth of his regained sight. Doubt crept in, gnawing at his resolve. The complexity of his deception, once a thrilling challenge, now felt like an unbearable burden. How could this have happened? He did not see this coming. Trapped in a web of his own making, Adrian considered coming clean to Clara about everything. The thought of revealing his surgery and the reasons behind his mysterious behavior loomed large. It was a daunting prospect, but he was increasingly feeling cornered by his own secrets. The isolation of his double life was becoming too much to bear, pushing him towards a moment of truth he hadn't anticipated. After what felt like an eternity, Adrian's call connected. The bank's calm voice relayed unsettling news of suspicious activity on his account, necessitating a thorough investigation. This revelation hit Adrian like a cold wave, leaving him to grapple with the reality of his compromised financial security. The dream of a perfect surprise for Clara was quickly becoming entangled in unforeseen complications. The mention of potential fraud sent Adrian's mind racing. The implications were dire, not just for his plans, but for his financial stability. Left without clear answers or solutions, he felt adrift in a sea of uncertainty. The bank's warning echoed in his mind, a grim reminder of the vulnerability that now shadowed his every step towards the surprise he had envisioned. As Adrian attempted to focus on the final touches of his wedding plans, his thoughts were incessantly pulled back to the unresolved credit card debacle and Clara's mounting suspicion. Each attempt to make progress felt futile, overshadowed by the looming issues that demanded his attention. The joy of planning was replaced by a sense of isolation, compounded by the secrets he was keeping. Attempting to log into his banking app only added to Adrian's growing frustrations. The screen's cold denial, a consequence of the ongoing fraud investigation, felt like a personal affront. This barrier not only hindered his ability to manage his finances, but also served as a stark reminder of the precarious position in which he found himself, caught between his plans and the unraveling reality. Overwhelmed by the cascade of challenges, Adrian contemplated a drastic measure, revealing his surgery to Clara ahead of schedule. The weight of his secret, once born in anticipation of joy, now felt like an unbearable burden. He longed for the relief that honesty might bring, hoping it could bridge the gap that his silence had created between them. With a deep breath, Adrian made one last attempt to log into his online banking. Success. The screen before him finally granted access, a small victory during chaos. He steeled himself, knowing that what he was about to discover could change everything. The anticipation of uncovering the truth was both a relief and a source of dread. As he scrolled through the recent activity, Adrian's heart dropped. Unfamiliar transactions and unexplained withdrawals painted a picture of betrayal. Each entry was a dagger to his trust, revealing a breach in the financial security he thought he had. The reality of the situation began to set in, leaving him reeling from the implications of these discoveries. Fueled by a mix of anger and determination, Adrian raced home. The drive seemed endless, each mile a mix of anticipation and anxiety. His mind was a whirlwind, trying to piece together the betrayal that the bank account's state hinted at. He knew a confrontation was inevitable, and with each passing moment, his resolve hardened. Arriving home, Adrian found Clara in a state of calm, a stark contrast to the storm raging within him. The sight of her, seemingly unaffected by the turmoil, intensified his turmoil. The air was charged with tension, the silence between them heavy with unspoken accusations. Adrian knew this was the moment of truth, the beginning of a confrontation that had been brewing for far too long. Clara's shock was palpable when she saw Adrian without his usual aids, his sunglasses and cane nowhere in sight. The revelation of his sight restoration, meant to be a joyous surprise, now served as the opening salvo of their confrontation. Adrian's appearance, unaided in seeing, marked a pivotal turn in their relationship, setting the stage for a crucial exchange of truths. Under the weight of Adrian's unwavering gaze, Clara's defenses crumbled. With a voice broken by guilt, she confessed to using his money to cover her spiraling gambling debts. The room seemed to spin as Adrian processed her words, each one a blow to the foundation of their life together. Clara's admission was a stark unveiling of the secret life she had led, hidden from his blinded eyes. Adrian felt a profound sense of devastation wash over him as Clara's words sank in. The realization of the depth of betrayal, not just of their finances but of their trust, left him reeling. Her addiction, a shadowy figure in their marriage, had finally stepped into the light, revealing the cracks it had created in their bond. The person he thought he knew had been obscured by a web of lies. The stark revelation forced Adrian to reassess everything he believed about their relationship. The trust and love he had felt were now under scrutiny, tainted by the reality of Clara's actions. Clara's confession, revealing her gambling addiction and financial betrayal, was the final blow to their already frayed relationship. Adrian felt a deep, aching sadness as the last vestiges of their connection seemed to disintegrate before his eyes. The revelation was more than just a breach of trust. It was a fundamental betrayal of their partnership, leaving Adrian to mourn the loss of what they had shared. In the wake of Clara's confession, Adrian was forced to confront the painful truth of their situation. The betrayal, once unveiled, could not be unseen or undone. With a heavy heart, he acknowledged that moving forward meant leaving behind the shattered remains of their relationship. It was a solemn acceptance of the end, a necessary step towards healing and finding a way to navigate the world anew, beyond the shadows of betrayal. After much turmoil, Adrian resolved to end their marriage. This decision, though heart-wrenching, opened the door to a new beginning. The realization that the path forward meant walking away from Clara was daunting yet necessary. It was a step into the unknown, fueled by the desire to rebuild his life on foundations of honesty and integrity, away from the shadows of deceit that had darkened their union. Adrian's choice to divorce marked a significant turning point. It was not just the end of their marriage, but the closure of a chapter filled with both love and betrayal. Standing at the threshold of this new era, Adrian felt a mix of sorrow and liberation. The future was uncertain, yet it promised freedom from the deceit that had enshrouded his past, offering a clean slate for his next chapter. Adrian's transition was marked by moments of profound reflection. Each day brought opportunities for growth and a deeper understanding of himself. In the silence of loneliness, he found clarity, slowly redefining who he was beyond the confines of his marriage. These moments of introspection were bittersweet, mingling the pain of the past with the hopeful promise of self-renewal and progress. The journey through the aftermath of his divorce taught Adrian the true meaning of resilience. Facing the world anew, he learned valuable lessons about trust, not only in others, but in himself. The process of moving beyond grief and betrayal illuminated the path to a stronger, more authentic self. With each step forward, Adrian embraced the challenges, transforming them into stepping stones towards a future filled with hope and new beginnings. Adrian embraced the world with new eyes, finding beauty in the simplicity of everyday moments. This period of rediscovery was not just about seeing the world anew, but understanding his place within it. Joy came from unexpected sources, sunsets he could now see, the laughter of strangers, the myriad textures of life he had missed. Each day was a step towards reclaiming his identity and experiencing life unfiltered. Through his journey, Adrian learned the value of connections built on honesty and mutual respect. He ventured into new relationships with a sense of purpose, informed by the hard-earned lessons of his past. These new bonds were different. They were built on a foundation of transparency and understanding. Adrian found solace in these connections, each one a testament to his growth and his commitment to living authentically. With cautious optimism, Adrian allowed himself to believe in love again. This wasn't a reckless leap, but a measured step forward, guided by hope and a newfound understanding of what it meant to truly share one's life. He was crafting a new chapter, one where the scars of the past informed but did not dictate the future. It was a time of tentative plans and dreams, all pointing towards a horizon filled with possibility. In time, Adrian's heart found its home. Love blossomed into a partnership grounded in trust, from which a new family narrative was woven. This family, built on the principles of honesty and shared experiences, became Adrian's most cherished accomplishment. Together, they created a life rich in love and mutual respect, a testament to Adrian's belief in the possibility of a fresh start and the power of second chances. Adrian's life with his new family was a beacon of hope, symbolizing the renewal of happiness that follows the darkest storms. Adrian often reflected on his journey, recognizing the invaluable lessons learned along the way. Trust, once broken, could be rebuilt. Resilience was found in the ability to rise after falling, and change, though daunting, was the only growth path. These lessons became the pillars of his new life, guiding him as he navigated the complexities of love, forgiveness, and personal evolution. Looking ahead, Adrian felt a surge of optimism. The future, once obscured by uncertainty, now gleamed with potential. He envisioned a life rich in love, understanding, and endless possibilities for new beginnings. The shadows that once loomed large had receded, replaced by the light of hope and the warmth of familial love. For Adrian, the future was not just bright, it was radiant with promise. The tapestry of Adrian's life, woven with threads of challenges and victories, was a testament to the beauty of starting over. Adrian's journey through betrayal to finding love once more was a powerful narrative of hope's healing power. It showcased the resilience of the human spirit, capable of overcoming profound hurt to embrace happiness anew. His story was a beacon to others, a reminder that even in the depths of despair, hope could guide one back to love and fulfillment. Adrian's transformation from a world of darkness to one illuminated by love and new beginnings was a profound celebration of human capacity for change. Truly inspiring as a clear message of hope and faith that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. His life, a once fragmented collection of moments and memories, now stood as a testament to the enduring power of hope, love, and the willingness to embrace change. Adrian's journey concluded not just with the achievement of happiness, but with the realization that happiness was a journey itself, ever evolving and infinitely rewarding. And all he could see was a bright future ahead.